Now we also have the Mosque of Selim II, and this is built by the Ottoman Turks. In 1258, the Mongols will invade and destroy Baghdad, thus destroying the Arab-Persian hold over Islam at the time and really changing the power centers of Islam. First, they move to Egypt and the Marduks, and then it moves to Turkey under the Ottomans, because the Ottomans will make use of gunpowder. So in the early 13th century, the Ottomans, founded by Osman I, will be established in Turkey, modern-day Turkey. And they expand greatly over a couple of centuries into a massive world power, and they are lavish patrons of architecture. In 1453, they took over Constantinople and will, of course, convert the Hagia Sophia into a mosque with the addition of the minarets and the interior decorations that we've seen. But they want a mosque of their own, something of their own construction, which we see in the Mosque of Selim II. And we see the similarities here, the idea of a massive dome on cube construction with the semi-domes coming down and the use of the piers. It's very, very similar to the ideas that we see in the Hagia Sophia. It's almost as if they're taking those ideas and developing them further into a mosque. And this idea of using a dome where you have a massive open center is perfect for a mosque. Now, Sinan is the greatest of the Ottoman architects. He's born a Christian and recruited into the Ottoman government, where he later converts to Islam. And this is not unusual. He's trained as an engineer in the art of building while in the army. And he's particularly talented and will eventually become the chief court architect. This is generally his best work, where he sought to surpass the greatest achievements of the Byzantine world, which he felt were embodied in the Hagia Sophia, ironically built, well, originally before the Byzantine Empire really existed. And he's creating this new type of prayer hall instead of all these columns holding up the ceiling, which will also affect the sound quality within the mosque. Within a dome, you have this space with much better acoustic qualities, a key element when you're trying to perform prayers. So we see this large space inside. Here's one view of it. And the ring with the lights, those are mosque lamps. Those are a very specific art form within mosques. And that entire ring is meant to be lifted and lowered twice a day to light and extinguish the mosque lamps. And when we go inside, it looks very much like the Hagia Sophia. If you ignore the decorative elements for a second, you just look at the architecture. We have those walls of windows and the arches. We have the dome sort of taking center stage here. We have 4 half domes at the corners, which are bringing that weight down. Here we see the half domes. And here we're looking right up into the dome, and you see these lines of mosque lamps again. Inside the dome, we have Kufic script used as a decorative element, further stylized. We have the striping that we've seen at Cordoba and at the Dome of the Rock. And we have Makwarnas tiles. These are giant Makwarnas tiles, about 4 to 6 feet tall, around the base of the dome, sort of acting as a transition and also giving those elements of movement that we saw in Granada at the Alhambra. So this is a lavish structure, and most of this is done in mosaic, an idea that they're again picking up from the Byzantine and trying to improve on. Now, the difference here is you'll notice everything is very light colored, which gives it this odd feeling. You have to place yourself in the 16th century. Most buildings are dark, lit with candles. This suddenly is bright and massive. It would have felt very much like a miracle on Earth, at least an architectural miracle on Earth.